people, I'm Bharat Acharya. Welcome to my video. So in today's video, we're going to learn instruction set of 8051. We're starting with the instruction set. 8051 has 111 instructions. Okay, one of the processors, the real big instruction set. The 111 instructions are divided into 5 groups. We're going to cover all the instructions one by one. We're starting with the first group today. That group is called arithmetic group. As the name suggests, arithmetic group means you're going to see arithmetic instructions. What are the various arithmetic instructions? Add, various forms of add. I don't know if you know the addressing modes of 8051. Please learn addressing modes of 8051 before this. You'll know there is a difference between writing 25H and hash 25H, writing R0 and @R0. So I'm going to be anyways showing you what's the difference between writing all those adds. So there's basic addition, then there is add with carry, then there is subtract with borrow. There's no basic subtraction, there's only subtract with borrow. So I'm going to teach you how to take care of that anyway. Then there is increment, decrement, the simplest instruction in the world. There are 5 types of increment, but there are only 4 types of decrement. One of them is missing. Of course, I'll tell you which one and why and stuff like that and how to go about it. Then there are multiply and divide. There's something about these instructions which is asked in Viva. So they're popular Viva questions, but by themselves they're very simple instructions. And then this superb instruction which is there in every processor doing exactly the same thing, DAA, decimal adjust after addition. It has a big logic, checks the lower nibble, checks the higher nibble, makes adjustments. I'm going to cover that with examples. So that's the idea of the whole lecture. So we begin with the first instruction. First instruction is called add. Now when you write add, or in fact most of the arithmetic and logic operations that you will see on the board, the first operand is always A register. The second operand can be various things which I'm going to show you all the forms. The result is always stored in A register. So what happens? You are adding something to A. The result comes in A. That means you are accumulating values into A register. Hence it is called accumulator, not because A for accumulator. Okay, you're accumulating values in A register, hence the name. Now you got it. Now when you write add A comma hash 25, you're saying add with A register the number 25. When you put a hash, you're indicating that this is the data. If you don't put a hash, if you just write 25, that means it's an address. We'll come to that later, one by one. Don't get lost in the pool of the instructions. See, what I would actually want to do if I'm doing this in a classroom is write every instruction one by one and explain. But that takes much more time. Being a video, I want to keep it small because in a classroom I can control everyone's attention. In a video, it's very easy for you to lose track. So I've written everything on the board. But you got to be a sincere student. Don't look at anything which I'm not teaching. Okay? I want to save that writing time, so I've put everything on the board. Just focus on what I'm teaching. So these will come later. Focus here. When you put a hash 25 means 25 is the data. So you're adding A with the number 25 and the result will be stored in A. Are we clear? Now, A is a how many bit register? 8-bit register. 25 is an 8-bit number. So when you add two 8-bit numbers, you are expecting the answer to come in A, which means you are expecting the answer to be 8 bits, which it will be in most of the cases. Sometimes it can be more than 8 bits. How many bits? 16 bits? No, it can never be 16 bits. At the most, it will be 9 bits. That 9th bit is called a carry, okay, which can be only a 0 or a 1. That is stored in the carry flag. First of all, did you hear what I said? Carry can only be a 0 or a 1. Okay, carry can never be 2. The two numbers that you're adding are 8-bit numbers, A and some number. Worst case scenario, both of them are FF. Can't be bigger than that, so you agree that's the worst case. FF plus FF gives you 1 FE, just like 99 plus 99 gives you 198. Same idea, just in hexadecimal. So FF plus FF gives you 1 FE. Now 1 FE means FE is your result, 1 is the carry. FE will go in A, 1 will go in the carry flag. Are you clear? You may be wondering, why am I spending so much time on this? Now here is the question. What if A was FE and you are adding 0? You can always write add A comma hash 0. It's a valid instruction. So here you're doing FE plus 0. Again the answer will be FE, which will come in A register. But this time carry flag will be 0. That means whenever you do an add program, don't just check A register. The answer will be in A as well as carry flag. Are you clear? Don't check only A, then you will get an incomplete answer. That's the point I'm trying to make. The next instruction. Now once you get first, see, I'll tell you something about this. On paper, 8051 instruction set has 111 instructions. When you actually try to learn them, there are only 48, 49 instructions. Why is the number so big then? Because every instruction has various addressing modes. There are various types of the same instruction. This is a characteristic feature of CISC instruction sets. That's a concept on which 8051 is based. Whenever you learn ARM, you'll understand the stark difference between CISC processors and RISC processors. Here you've got so many types of the same instructions. In a RISC processor, you have one type of every instruction. So it gives you a very compact instruction set. Yes, faster execution, but lower flexibility. Anyways, this is not the time for that. I'll just give you extra information. Now, come back over here. So add. Now there are several types of add. Add A with a register. This was add A with a number. This is add A with a register. So you're adding the value of A register with some other register. Now which register can this be? Anything from R0 to R7. I'm sure you know the registers of 8051. There are 32 registers divided into 4 banks. So it can be any of those registers. So add A with a register. The result will be stored back in A register. Now, add A with 25. Now this is hash 25. This is 25. That is the data. This is an address because there is no hash symbol. That means it's an address. That means you're not adding A with the number 25. You're adding A with the contents of the location 25. Are you clear? Which memory is this? Internal RAM. Please learn memories of 8051 before you learn this. Okay? Now in memories of 8051, you know there's internal RAM, internal ROM, external RAM, external ROM. There are 4 memories. There's only one memory which has an 8-bit address. That is internal RAM. That is the address that I've written over. You're only allowed to write an 8-bit address. So this kind of addressing mode, direct addressing mode, works only on internal RAM. I've covered this in detail in addressing modes. Please watch that video. Excuse me. Go in the order in which videos are laid out. Then you'll understand it the best. Okay? Anyway. So, add A, 25H. You are not adding the number 25. You are adding the contents of location 25. Please tell me, did you understand? Add A, @RP. What is RP? Register pointer. This is indirect addressing mode. If you've learned indirect addressing mode, you know there are 2 registers which can act as pointers, R0 and R1. So it can be any of these 2 registers, R0 or R1. Let's say R0 example, add A, @R0. Are you adding A with R0? No. That's what you did over here. This was just R0. This is @R0. That means you're adding with A the contents of the location pointed by R0. Hold on. Don't get scared. It's very easy. Just easy. Okay? Take a breath. It's easy. Suppose R0 is 20. When I write add A, R0, I'm doing A plus 20. Do you understand this much? Now, instead of that, if I write add A, @R0, I'm doing A will get the result of A plus contents of location 20. Here R0, when you write simply R0, R0 gives the data. Here, if you write @R0, whatever is the number present in R0, it will act as an address. You will get data from that address. Are you clear? So you're getting A is getting the result of A plus contents of the memory location pointed by R0. I'm not going to explain this again and again because this will happen with every instruction. Every instruction will have all these types. I'm explaining them once. So once for all, get this clear. Number with hash means it is the data. Number without hash means it is an address. Register without any @ means it gives data. Register with an @ means it gives address. Are you clear? You put an @ with a register and you put a hash with a number. Don't interchange the two. Okay? Now, those were your basic forms of add instruction. Now, I hope you understood that. Okay, so next instruction, add with carry. So that is add. This is add with carry. Now, when you do add with carry, you're not only adding 2 numbers, you're also adding the value of carry flag. A plus 25 plus carry flag. What is this carry? Is this the carry after performing this addition or carry of the previous operation? 100% this is the carry of the previous operation. How can this be the carry after performing this addition? That makes no sense, my friend. If you add 2 numbers and you get a carry, you don't add the carry back to the result. It is silly. 9 plus 4, 13. 13 means 3 and a carry 1. You don't add the 1 to 3 and make it 4. That is stupid. You understand what I'm saying? So this is definitely not the carry of this addition. This is the carry of the previous addition. If this is the carry of the previous addition, then why are we adding it to this number? Look here. So I have a 16-bit number with me. 12FF. Okay, you understand that's a 16-bit number, right? Please do all the basics before you go into big topics. So 1 to FF is a 16-bit number, 0001 is a 16-bit number. I want to add these two numbers. 1 to FF plus 1. F plus 1 is 0 carry 1. F plus 1 again 0 carry 1. You understand that, right? 2 plus 1 is 3 and 1. So 12FF plus 1 is 1300. Simple. Now this is a 16-bit addition. If you observe, all our arithmetic instructions are 8-bit operations. They do 8-bit additions. So if I want to do a 16-bit addition, I cannot do it in one step. What I can do is, I can split this into 2 bytes and do it separately. This is the lower byte, this is the higher byte. Please answer. What will you add first? The higher byte or the lower byte? Come on. Come on. That's it. You got the point. If you add the higher byte first, there'll be a problem. How will you get this carry? You'll first add the lower bytes. It'll produce a sum and a carry, which will go into the carry flag. When you add the higher bytes, you'll be doing add with a carry. So the lower bytes will be added using a simple add. It will just add these two numbers, produce a sum and a carry, which will go into carry flag. Okay, this is auxiliary carry. See where my hand is pointing. This is auxiliary carry, this is the main carry. You understand that, right? Auxiliary carry is the carry from lower nibble to higher nibble. This is your whole 8-bit number. The carry produced will be in the carry flag. When you're adding the higher byte, you'll be using the instruction ADDC. ADDC stands for add with carry. It will add these two numbers plus the value of the carry flag, which is the carry of the previous operation. Please tell me, did you understand this? So when do you do add with carry? Excuse me. When you want to add two large numbers, 16-bit, 32-bit, 64-bit, whatever, when you want to add two large numbers, you divide them into bytes. First you add the lower bytes using a simple add. It produces a sum and a carry. Then you add the higher bytes using add with carry so that the carry of the lower byte comes into the higher byte. Did you understand this? Now, there are again 4 types of add with carry. I will not repeat it because then it will just be repeating the same thing again and again. It's the same thing. Add with carry A and a register. You understood what is the meaning of a register and at the rate register. You know that, right? Similarly, add with carry A and 25. Please answer. Am I adding 25? Please answer. Am I adding 25? No, I'm adding the contents of location 25 plus A plus the carry flag, and the result will be stored in A. So there are 4 types of add with carry. 1, 2, 3, 4, just like you had 4 types of add. So, once again, we've reached up to instruction number 8. How many instructions have we actually learned? 2. That's the point. That's why I told you. It looks like 111 instructions. It's not. Every instruction has various types. Come on, look at the next one. SUBB. SUBB stands for subtract with a borrow. You have ordinary add. You have add with carry. There is no ordinary subtract. You directly have subtract with borrow. Are you clear? So just like in add with carry, you add the previous carry. In subtract with borrow, you subtract the previous borrow. Come on, look here. Again, I'm taking an example. This time I'm taking an example of a decimal number, that to an 8-bit number, just to make you understand the idea. The idea is the same whether it's decimal or hexadecimal, 8-bit or 16-bit. This is the simplest way to make you understand, because hexadecimal subtraction, if I do it on the board, instead of focusing on the real thing, some people, not all, some people get confused in hexadecimal subtraction. So I don't want to confuse you. I'm taking the example of decimal numbers. The idea remains the same. 47 minus 19. How do you do subtraction? Tell me. 47 minus 19 should give you 28. How do you get that? First you try to do 7 9 minus 9, which you cannot. So you take a borrow. 17 minus 9 is 8. Now, since school we have been taught, if we take a borrow, we cut this and make it 3. Processor is not going to cut this and make it 3. Processor will store the information that there was a borrow. Did you understand this? Now what will it do? 4 minus 1 minus the borrow. Did you understand this? In addition, you add the previous carry. In subtraction, you subtract the previous borrow. Are you clear? If the lower byte has taken a borrow, a 1 should be subtracted from the higher byte. Now, carry and borrow, both are stored in the carry flag. So students say, that means which one does it contain? Does the carry flag hold carry or does it hold borrow? Don't ask such questions. Please use your brains. You can't do add and subtract both in one instruction. If you've done add, then carry flag holds the carry. If you've done subtract, then the same carry flag holds the borrow. So what do you need to do? You want to subtract the borrow. So it'll do A minus 25 minus the borrow, which means minus the carry flag. Please tell me, did you understand this much? Okay. Now, point to note over here is, in addition, excuse me, you have normal addition and you have add with a carry. In subtraction, you don't have normal subtraction. You just have subtract with borrow. So what if you want to do ordinary subtraction? I tell you do 75 minus 20 as an example. Simple question. 75 minus 20. You'll put 75 in A. Move A, comma, hash 75. Move R0, comma, hash 20. Now you're going to do subtract A, comma, R0. At that time also you'll use SUBB because there is no SUB. Now when you do SUBB, it'll do A minus R0 minus carry flag. If carry flag was 0, you are lucky. If carry flag was 1, you will get a wrong answer because carry flag will interfere in the operation. So what does a sensible programmer do? Before attempting SUBB, if you do not want the carry flag to interfere, if you just want to do ordinary subtraction, take the situation in your hand, first clear the carry flag. There is an instruction called CLRC. We will come across this instruction much later when we do bit operations. That's the third group that I'm going to be teaching you. So when I teach you that group, you'll know there's an instruction called CLRC, but even if I don't teach you, come on, look at the board, you're sensible enough to understand this. CLRC stands for clear carry. It will make carry flag 0. So even if there was some residual carry in that flag, it will wipe that out, and then you do SUBB, it will act as ordinary subtraction. Okay, keep that in mind. So my point is, if you want to do simple subtraction, you still have to use SUBB, but see to it that you do CLRC before doing SUBB. Are you clear? So there is subtract with borrow. Again, there are 4 types. I'm not going to repeat it. With the register, with the address, with the location pointed by the register. I'm sure you understood this by now. Now increment, the simplest instruction in the world. Increment A will become A plus 1. As simple as that. If it was 25, it will become 26. If it was 74, it will become 75. If it was FF, it will roll back to 00. Keep this in mind. Any 8-bit register begins from 00, goes all the way up to FF. If you increment it beyond FF, it will roll back to 0. Are you clear? So that is increment A. Increment the register, so you're incrementing the value of some register. Increment 25, what? Are you making 25, 26? No. 25. There is no hash over here. That means you're not interested in 25. Since there is no hash, that means it's an address. You are incrementing the contents of location 25. Please tell me, did you understand this? You're not incrementing the number 25. What will you get by incrementing the number 25? It will become 26. Where will it go? You understand that, right? You increment the register so its value increases. You don't increment the number by itself. The processor will say, I've incremented. Now what do? I have a number 26. Where do I keep it? So obviously you're not incrementing the number 25. You're incrementing the contents of location 25. Similarly, increment @R0. Please answer this by yourself. Say it. Don't feel shy. Come on, say it. Increment @R0. Increment the contents of the location pointed by R0. Good. And increment DPTR. Interesting instruction. Increment DPTR. It's a 16-bit increment. Whenever you learn timing diagrams of 8051, if at all you do, most universities don't bother about it, but if at all you do, you'll notice 90% instructions require 1 machine cycle. There are a handful of instructions which require 2, and there are some like multiply, divide requiring 4. Anyways, we'll cover that later. So, the instructions which require 2 machine cycles have something peculiar about them. This is one of those instructions. The peculiar thing over here is, it's a 16-bit operation. 16-bit operation, remember 8051 at the end of the day is an 8-bit processor. So, to do a 16-bit operation, it will require extra time. So, increment DPTR requires 2 cycles. That's just for your knowledge. What will it do? It will increment the value of DPTR. DPTR will become DPTR plus 1. Just like you have 5 types of increments, you have several types of decrements. Decrement A, decrement blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to say this again. You know it, right? The various types. What is interesting to notice is, there is increment DPTR, there is no decrement DPTR. Don't create your own, okay? In programs, I've seen students trying to write thinking, yeah, there was increment DPTR, there'll be decrement also. There is not. There's only increment DPTR. You cannot decrement DPTR. So students say, so this is a drawback. It's not a drawback. Don't jump to conclusions all the time that, oh my God, that means this doesn't work. Everything works. 8050 has stood the test of time. Okay, it's been taught since the past 40 years. If it had problems, nobody would be learning it. The point is, DPTR is a data pointer. It points to a memory location. So how do you use DPTR? Suppose you want to access a table starting from location 2000. You initialize DPTR with the value 2000, using it as a pointer. That's what is the name, data pointer. And go on incrementing it. Now if you had the option of decrementing DPTR, what would you do? You will start from the last address and go on decrementing it. First of all, going forward or going backwards, at the end of the day will give you the same table. Yes, the flexibility would have been good, but they've not kept it. They've not kept this option. So whenever you want to access a table in external RAM using DPTR, you always access it in a forward way. Reverse way is not possible because there's no decrement DPTR. Students say, why didn't they keep this instruction? Because I just said it. This is an increment DPTR takes 2 cycles. So these are odd instructions which change the normal course of working. So nobody really likes too many oddities in the instruction set. So to avoid that idea of taking extra cycles, they've removed the concept of a decrement DPTR. Students say, sir, still if for some reason, not students, some people in general are very stubborn. What if I want to decrement DPTR? What do I do? Nothing feel bad about. You can, DPTR is 2 registers, DPH and DPL. Decrement DPL, check whether there was a borrow and then decrement DPH. You can always do it. Come on, it's not really that difficult. There were 2 registers. You can, if you really need to do it, you can work your way around it. But 18 years of teaching. There is no program that you desperately need to do this. Okay, so we go on to the next instruction. That's multiply and divide. Get this clear. There are numerous forms of add, subtract, increment, decrement. There is only one form of mul. Okay? You can only multiply A and B. There is no other option. Same goes with divide. There is only one form of divide. You can only divide A and B. Are you clear? Do not invent your own instructions. There is no multiply A comma R0. There is no multiply A comma B also. The name of the instruction is mul AB. That's it. Nothing else can come in place of A and B. Now when you write multiply AB, both of them are 8 bits. So you're doing A multiplied by B obviously. 8-bit multiplied by 8-bit will not give you an 8-bit answer. Will give you a 16-bit answer. You're not adding, you're multiplying. So answer will be double size. So answer will be 16 bits. So the answer will be stored in two registers. A and B. A will have the lower byte, B will have the higher byte. Are you so far clear? Now, students say, why is A getting the lower byte, why is B getting the higher byte? Yeah, there is a reason for everything. It's not like they did a toss and decided it. Most cases will not produce a higher byte. If you're adding small numbers, the answer will be within 8 bits only. You understand what I'm saying? If you're multiplying small numbers like 4 into 5 or 6 into 7 or 8 into 9, whatever, smaller numbers, your answer will be 8 bits. So your most likely answer will be an 8-bit answer unless you're really multiplying big numbers. So you'd want your most likely answer in your most likely register. That is why A gets the lower byte and B gets the higher byte. Okay, there's logic to everything. This beauty of the subject is we were not born with it. We didn't lift a stone and find these things somewhere from some random source. This was all created by us. So everything has a simple logic behind it. If you just trace the logic, you'll never have to by heart anything. Now there's something important I want to tell you. When you add two numbers, listen carefully. When you add two numbers, two 8-bit numbers, you get an 8-bit result and a carry which is your 9th bit. When you multiply two 8-bit numbers, your answer is 16 bits. There is no possibility of a carry after that. Are you clear? To prove it to you, an 8-bit number can have a max value of FF. FF multiplied by FF gives you FE01. FE01 is a 16-bit number, clearly telling you that there is no chance of a carry after this operation. Are you clear? So I've taken the two biggest numbers, FF into FF. So after performing multiplication, don't check for carry. Like after performing addition, please remember to check for carry. In multiplication, don't check for carry. Okay? Now, the next instruction, div AB. Div AB stands for divide A and B. It will divide the value of A by the value of B. A will be the dividend, B will be the divisor. So it will do A divided by B. So if you want to do 75 divided by 12, please place your values in correct registers. During multiplication, we didn't bother about that because 12 into 75 and 75 into 12 is the same. During division, it makes a difference. So put 75 in A, 12 in B and do div AB. It will do A divided by B. Now, it will give you a quotient and a remainder, not a fraction. It will give you, like 7 divided by 2 will not give you 3.5. 3.5 is called a floating point number. 8051 doesn't work with floating point numbers. So, it will give you 3 as a quotient, 1 as the remainder. So, you'll get a quotient and a remainder. Both of them will be 8 bits. So, they'll be stored in A and B. Are you listening? Now, again the question, who will get the quotient, who will get a remainder? Let's do a toss and decide. No. Between quotient and remainder, who is more important? When you do division, what's your more important part? What's the real answer? The quotient. Remainder is the leftover, hence the name remainder. The main answer of division is the quotient. So the main answer will come into the main register. A will get the quotient, B will get the remainder. The subject is full of logic. Find the logic. You'll never have to by heart. Now, important Viva question. What if you have done division by 0? Okay? Very few students know the answer to this question. If you've done division by 0, nobody does it deliberately. Like, I mean, come on, everybody has a life. You don't waste time sitting and doing fancy things. Suppose somebody tells you, take data from location 20 and 30, divide the two. Now you've taken the data from 20 into A and 30 into B, and you're dividing the two. Now you don't know what the data was because you just knew the addresses. Those locations would have contained anything. So suppose B was 0 during this division. If you do 0 divided by something, no problem. 0 is the quotient, 0 is the remainder. But if you do something divided by 0, there is a problem. You know division by 0 doesn't exist. You will get an absurd answer, an invalid answer. Whatever it is garbage. So after the operation, the registers will contain a garbage value. Garbage value is also a number. Valid result is also a number. Do you know what the answer was supposed to be? No. If you knew the answer, why will you divide? Then you'll take the answer and move on in life. You've taken data from some memory locations without knowing what the data is. You've divided the two. You are looking at A and B registers. They will contain something. Even if you've done division by 0, they will still contain something. But now that something that they contain is a garbage value. Should MUPI give you a garbage value and tell you, okay, that was your luck. Sorry, bad luck. No. It should somehow tell you that, hello, hold on, this is a garbage result. So there should be something over here that informs the programmer that division by 0 has been performed. And yes, something happens. Overflow flag. If you remember the flag register, there is a flag called overflow flag. The moment you perform division by 0, overflow flag will become 1 to indicate that you've done division by 0. Otherwise, overflow flag will be 0, indicating that you've done normal division. Are you clear? In div AB instruction, overflow flag indicates whether you've performed division by 0 or not. So after doing div AB, if you have any doubts whether you have, if you know the numbers, no, of course you will not. But if you have any doubts what the numbers were and you feel that maybe division by 0 is performed, first check the overflow flag. This is a Viva question. As I said, very few people know the answer to. Anyway, let's go ahead. Next instruction. My favorite instruction, always brings a smile on my face whenever I teach this. It's there in every processor. My staff writer, my cameraman who was recording this, was like, sir, I remember this instruction because it's there in every processor. Doing exactly the same thing. I take the same examples also. If you've subscribed to any other processor, you've seen this instruction already. DA stands for decimal. If you're not subscribed to any other processor, understand. This is a super important instruction. That's why it's there in every processor. Okay? Very important instruction. If it comes, it will be a 5-mark question by itself. Draw and explain DAA with suitable examples. Now, DAA stands for decimal adjust after addition. I say again, decimal adjust after addition. It should have been DAAA, but they don't keep such a funny because that will look funny. Not that this doesn't, but anyway. So they've kept the name as DAA, but it's actually decimal adjust after addition. Now, the name itself gives you the idea. This instruction can be used only after performing addition. Are you listening? Now, you have done addition, you get a result. That result will be in A register. 8051, everything is in A register. So A register has two nibbles. It's an 8-bit register, so it has two nibbles, lower nibble and higher nibble. So this is the adjustment it does. If lower nibble is greater than 9 or auxiliary carry flag is 1, it will add 6. If higher nibble is greater than 9 or carry flag is 1, it will add 60. Hold on, don't get scared. What is this? You want to by heart this? No, you want to understand this, right? You will. You'll be able to teach this to others. Just give me 5 minutes. So what has happened? You have done addition. DAA is not used after every addition. It is used after adding two decimal numbers. You are a programmer, you know what numbers you're working with. So if you think you are working with decimal numbers, do you work with decimal numbers? Yes, the real world works in decimal system. If you're making a project of 8051 for the real world, simple, cash counter. In every shop there is a cash counter. People who do the totaling and then produce a bill, you know what I'm talking about? So they have a machine. In that machine there is a processor, like 8051 or any other kind of processor. Now, that cashier, he or she, wants to add decimal numbers. They will enter 20 and 30. Suppose you bought two products, 20 and 30. They will type 20 plus 30. For that person, they are decimal numbers. But the processor inside always works in hexadecimal system. So here there is a communication gap. Either that cashier should have first converted 20 and 30 into hexadecimal and then entered, which no cashier in the world will do, or just make a smarter system, which will take these numbers, do the addition and then make an adjustment. That adjustment is DA. Now I'll tell you what happens. You as a cashier have entered 20 and 30. For you, they are decimal numbers. For the processor, they are hexadecimal numbers. You didn't do any conversion. Processor takes everything by default as hexadecimal. So there is a communication gap. Now you have said add. The processor will add. 20 plus 30. For you, 20 plus 30, what should the answer have been? 50, correct? Let's see what will the processor give. 0 plus 0, 0. 2 plus 3, 5. Wow. You wanted the answer to be 50. Processor also gives you the answer 50. So it works. No, this was a fluke. This was just your lucky day. What happens if you want to do 24 plus 25? Let's see. 24 plus 25. 4 plus, what do you want? 24 plus 25. What do you want the answer to be? 49. Let's see what happens. 4 plus 5. 9. 2 plus 2. 4. Answer is 49. Yo, the processor still works. There was such a big communication gap between you and the processor. You entering decimal numbers, processors adding them like hexadecimal numbers, but still, surprisingly, you're getting the correct answer. So is it your lucky day? Is your lucky day going to be every time? No. Let's see. 25 plus 25. See how luck runs out sometimes. 25 plus 25. You want the answer to be, nobody banks on luck. You bank on your knowledge and your skills. 25 plus 25. What do you want the answer to be? 50. Correct? 25 plus 25. What will the processor give you? 5 plus 5. A. 10. 10 is A. 2 plus 2. 4. This is a problem. You wanted the answer to be 50. The answer you got is 4A. Is there a problem? Yes. Do you imagine if this answer comes on the screen of the cashier, there will be chaos. You understand that, right? Most likelihood they may not even be knowing what is 4A. 4A is a hexadecimal number. Hexadecimal system is learned by people who learn technology, not people who don't. Okay? So, maybe. Yeah. So cashier. So inside the machine, the answer produces 4A. But the answer that you wanted was 50. So what you need over here is some kind of adjustment. That is done by the instruction called DAA. DAA says, first perform addition like we have done in all these cases, and then give me the result. Me means give the result to this instruction. It will work on the result of your addition. That's why the name decimal adjust after addition. Now when you do DAA on this result, it will still give you back 50 because that's the answer you wanted. It will give you 49, that's the answer you wanted. Here, it will make an adjustment. Now, why was there no adjustment required over here? That you'll understand by the logic of DAA. Now, let's look at the logic. DAA looks at A register. When you do DAA, A register contains the result of your addition. Okay? A has two nibbles, a lower nibble and a higher nibble. It will first check the lower nibble. If the lower nibble is greater than 9, only then it will do the adjustment. Please tell me, why 9? What's so special about 9? 0 to 9, decimal and hexadecimal are the same. We want our final answer to be in decimal form. In decimal form, there should not be any characters. When I say lower nibble is greater than 9, it simply means if lower nibble is a character. In hexadecimal system, after 9, you have A, B, C, D, E, F. You have 6 characters. We don't want any character in our answer. Our answer should be a decimal answer, something that the cashier understands. There should be no characters in it. It should be character free. Are you clear? So, we are getting rid of characters. If lower nibble is greater than 9, that means it's a character. Then an adjustment is required. And what is your adjustment? Add 6. Why 6? Why not 7? Why not 5? Why not 20? Why 6? Because you want your addition to work like decimal addition. Now, in decimal addition, after 9, you get 10. In hexadecimal addition, after 9, you get A, B, C, D, E, F. Then you get 1, 0. So you want to avoid A, B, C, D, E, F, and from 9 you want to directly go to 1, 0. That means you want to add an extra factor of 6 so that you bypass all the alphabets and directly go to 10. Your 9 plus 1 will give you A, but if you compensate by adding 6, B, C, D, E, F, 1, 0 will give you 10. Please tell me, did you understand the idea of adding 6? Let's see whether the idea works. We have said the theory, let's see whether it works. So when you do DA on this number, it will not do an adjustment. Why? Because there is nothing greater than 9 over here. It's not, the lower nibble is not greater than 9. Lower nibble is not greater than 9. It will give you back 49. It is already a correct answer. Here, the lower nibble is greater than 9. It will make an adjustment by adding how much? 6. So on 4A, we want to add 6. We'll add 6 one by one. 4A plus 1. 4B, 4C, 4D, 4E, 4F, 50. That's it. You got your answer as 50. Is this the answer that you wanted? Please tell me, is the logic clear? Let's take one more example for my happiness. 26 plus 26. What do you want the answer to be? 52. What do you get? 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 is C. 2 plus 2 is 4. Answer is 4C. Does it need adjustment? Yes, because the lower nibble is greater than 9. How much will it add? 6. 4C plus 1. 4D, 4E, 4F, 50, 51, 52. The answer is 52. Is this the answer that you wanted? Bang on. Did you understand this? Now one more for my happiness. Come on. 28 plus 28. You want the answer to be how much? 56. Surprise. What will you get? 8 plus 8. 8 plus 1. 9. A, B, C, D, E, F. 1, 0. What you got? You know how to do hexadecimal addition, right? You got 0, you got 1. 2 plus 1, 3 plus 2, 5. What did you want the answer to be? 56. What did you get? 50. Does it require adjustment? Yes. Why? Lower nibble is not greater than 9. There is a problem. Our logic said if lower nibble is greater than 9, only then adjustment is required. No, it's not only then. There is another case. Either the lower nibble should be greater than 9 or an auxiliary carry should be produced. This was your auxiliary carry. I'm not doing examples for fun. I'm doing examples to demonstrate every situation over here. We saw cases where the lower nibble is greater than 9. Now here, lower nibble is not greater than 9, but there is an auxiliary carry, so it will do adjustment by adding 6 and will give you the answer as 56. Look here. This was also 50, this is also 50. This will not be adjusted. You will still get back 50. This will be adjusted, you will get 56 because there was no auxiliary carry over here, but there's an auxiliary carry over here. I think I made my point clear. Tell me, did you understand this? Is the logic of DA clear? So it does the adjustment nibble by nibble. We saw the lower nibble. What is the condition? Either the lower nibble should be greater than 9 or it should produce an auxiliary carry. We will add 6. Same thing on the higher nibble. If the higher nibble is greater than 9, same idea. Greater than 9 means it's an alphabet. It's a character. We want our answer to be character free. So if the higher nibble is greater than 9, that means the character, that means it needs adjustment, or carry flag. From the lower nibble you get auxiliary carry, from the higher nibble you get main carry. So you'll be checking the carry flag. If any of these two cases are there, then we need adjustment. How much are we going to add? 6. We're going to add 6. Don't look at this number. We're going to add 6 only. But we'll add 6 to the nibble where we are adjusting. We are adjusting the higher nibble. When you add 6 to the higher nibble, that means effectively you're adding 60 to the number. The idea is not to add 60. The idea is to add 6 to the higher nibble. So it effectively means you're adding 60 to the number. Please tell me, did you understand? Let's take examples quickly. 5 minutes and we should be done. Come on. 40 plus 50. What do you want the answer to be? 90. What will you get? 0. 9. Whoa, it's already correct. No adjustment required because nothing is greater than 9 and there were no carries produced. So DA will still give you back 90. 50 plus 50, you want the answer to be 100. You will get 0. 5 plus 5 is 10. That means you will get A. Here you need adjustment. Higher nibble is greater than 9. How much are you going to add? 6? No, if you add 6, it will become A6. How is that correct? Your problem is with the higher nibble, so you'll add 6 to the higher nibble. When you add 6 to the higher nibble, it means you're adding 60 to the number. Are you clear? Your idea is to add 6 to the higher nibble. Now this is 0. A plus 6. B, C, D, E, F. 1, 0. So your answer is 1, 0, 0. That is 100. That's the answer that you wanted. Just keep this in mind. 0, 0 will come in A. 1 will come into the carry flag because A register cannot hold 3 digits, so it will hold 0, 0 and 1 will be then the carry flag. So again, your answer is in A and carry flag. Come on, 2 more examples and we are done. 80 plus 80. You wanted the answer to be 160. Let's see what you get. You know, I'm not doing examples for fun. Every example will show you something new. That's why I'm doing it. So be serious, okay? It's nice to be confident. Don't be overconfident. This is a case I want you to see. 0 plus 0 is 0, 8 plus 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F, 1, 0. 1, 0 means this is 0 and there is a carry. This is your carry flag. Now when I do DAA, first I'll check the lower nibble. Lower nibble is not greater than 9, no auxiliary carry produced, so no adjustment needed on the lower nibble. Then I'll check the higher nibble. Higher nibble is not greater than 9, but the last case, because carry flag is 1, it will still add 60, so it will give you effectively your answer as 160. This is the answer that you wanted. 60 will be in A, 1 will be in the carry flag. Are you clear? Now for my sake, what are the two biggest numbers you can add using DA? Come on. FF plus FF or 99 plus 99? Please give the correct answer. Please, I beg of you. 99 plus 99. How can you add FF plus FF? Cashier will never enter F. Remember, DAA is used when you want your addition to work like decimal addition, which means you're adding two decimal numbers. The numbers you are entering cannot have a character in them. So the two biggest numbers you can add are 99 plus 99. The answer that you expect is 198. If we get that, we are done with the video. Let's see. 99 plus 99. Now 9 plus 9. A, B, C, D, E, F, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2. 1, 2 means you'll get a 2 over here, you'll get a 1. Are you clear? Again, 9 plus 9 will give you 1, 2 plus 1, 1, 3. So 3 and a 1. This is your carry flag. This is your auxiliary carry flag. This is your A register. Now perform DAA. First, it will look at the lower nibble. Is the lower nibble greater than 9? No. But auxiliary carry was 1. That means it will add 6. That means it will add 6 to this nibble. 2 plus 6 is 8. This is still 3. This is still 1. Lower nibble is done. Now look at the higher nibble. Higher nibble is 3. Is 3 greater than 9? No. But the carry flag is 1. Because the carry flag is 1, it will add 60. That means it will add 6 to the higher nibble. 6 plus 3 is 9. So this will be 9. This is still 8. This is 1. Your answer is 198. Done. That's DA instruction. With that, we finished the first group. That's called arithmetic group. I hope you understood every instruction. So what all did we cover? Don't look there. What did we cover? Normal add with carry, subtract with borrow, increment, decrement,